Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. So this video is about the full moon in Sagittarius that is happening on May 23rd at 9:53 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This video is part 1. Part 2 is available on Patreon, where I go deeper into the sun, moon, and rising placements, even pull some cards to see what other energies are coming through. So when it comes to this video, this is 5 things that I want to share with you. And the first thing that I want to speak about when it comes to this full moon energy is the numerology around it. So this full moon in Sag is happening during an 8th year. The year 2024 adds up and reduce to the number 8 vibration. The number 8 deals with education. I feel like that's going to tie in big time to this full moon in Sag energy, and I'll speak on that later. So the number 8 deals with education. It deals with higher learning. It deals with authority. It deals with familiarity, seniority. Within an 8th year, this is where we find ourselves reflecting on where we plan on taking things and deciding to either renew the vows or end the relationship, that kind of vibe. We take the company to the next level or we sell the company. That's the kind of energy you think of whenever, you're dealing with the number 8. I also mentioned authority. So some things can come up around authority whenever the number 8 is present. So May is the 5th month. The number 5 energy deals with sudden and unexpected changes. The number 5 deals with communication. It deals with information. The number 5 for me is it deals with sales because it deals with information and communication, and we make sales and buy things based on the stories that are told to us and how they impact us on an emotional level. The number 5 is also a telepathic energy. There's this, it's like clairaudient. You hear something and then soon after hearing, it presents itself in front of you. The day is the 23rd. So the day being the 23rd also ties into the number 5 energy from the month of May. But the number 5 is created different with the day being the 23rd. The number 2 is emotional, is sensitive, it's unifying. The number 3 is childlike, it's creative, it's expressive, it's imaginative. So here, the day being the 23rd, the number 5 is created from emotions and imagination. So with that being said, we could find ourselves experiencing sudden and unexpected changes because our emotions are what's really driving them. With the number 2 energy, with the number 3 energy, our curiosity and our need for change is also driving it. And with the number 5 energy dealing with telepathy, we've been conditioned to fear anything that's happening inside of ourselves that cannot be validated by others. So society tells us what should be happening within us. When I think of inside all of us to me exists like a portal or a station where it's like, imagine like a station where like you go places. It's like a portal or a station where you go within and you can go anywhere. And we've been conditioned to abandon that side of ourselves by focusing on what society say we should be feeling on the inside. So when we feel things on the inside that others can't validate, we try to silence it. We try to numb it out. That's where escapism comes in with substance and different things like that. When it comes to today, being the 23rd, 5th month, we could find ourselves having a restless type of day, trying to avoid whatever it is that we're truly feeling on the inside. The energies in the day add up and reduce to number 9 vibration. The number 9 deals with some kind of ending. And with the day being the 23rd of the 5th month, the ending might come sudden and unexpected. But what is sudden and unexpected is never really sudden and unexpected, as there are always signs leading up to it. It's just that we were looking somewhere else, so we overlooked the signs leading up to the thing. And by the time we look around and notice that this thing happened, it felt like it came from out of nowhere, when it absolutely didn't come from out of nowhere. It's just a matter of where's your attention focused. And when it comes to this full moon, the full moon is happening at 2 degrees, and the number 2 energy deals with unifying. It deals with nurturing. The number 2 brings things together, as it is a nurturer. So when it comes to this full moon energy, even though something comes to an end, it's actually nurturing the start of something else. The second thing that I want to share with you is what happens when we have a full moon in Sagittarius. So a full moon is when the sun and the moon oppose each other at the exact degree. So as the moon is at 2 degrees in Sag, the sun is at 2 degrees in Gemini. And Sag and Gemini are on the same plane, but they oppose each other. It is extreme opposites of the same thing. And when we have a full moon in Sagittarius, first of all, with the full moon, something evolves to the next level, or it comes completely to an end. And with me mentioning, we're in an 8th year, and the number 8 dealing with education, Sagittarius deals with higher education. The number 8 also deals with finances. So with the full moon in Sagittarius, something could be coming to an end when it comes to laws around education, laws around border control, because Sagittarius energy deals with long distance travel. Sagittarius energy deals with diversity, other cultures. Sagittarius energy deals with philosophy, religion, and different things like that. So something could be coming to an end when it comes to laws pertaining to long distance travel, laws pertaining to higher education, laws pertaining to spirituality, laws pertaining to, I said higher education. The third thing that I want to share with you when it comes to this full moon in Sag is the challenges that we might experience around this full moon energy. And I feel like the challenge around a full moon in Sag energy brings me to Sag energy. And the challenge with Sag, moon and Sag, is the fact that we don't want to feel our emotions, is the fact that we want to get away from the familiar feelings, is the fact that we want to get away from our feelings on a whole. So that brings me back to the numerology and the day being the 23rd, and us wanting to get away from whatever it is that we're feeling and feel something else instead. So the challenge for me when it comes to this full moon is that for some people, maybe for a while now, you've been doing so well when it comes to your weight loss regimen, which to me, I feel like that should be more like a lifestyle. We should try to develop lifestyles that have healthy results, opposed to trying to do something to get a result, but to go back to our old way of doing things only to get what we once had, because it's the lifestyle choice that keeps getting us there. So instead of a quick fix, we should find a new lifestyle choice. But with the moon and Sag energy, we're trying to get away from whatever it is that we're feeling. So because we're trying to get away from whatever it is that we're feeling, this could cause us to escape our reality. And from escaping our reality, I think of, say, Neptune type of energy, where it's and to me, Sag sometimes can operate like that, where it's we're so optimistic and so big picture thinking to where nothing is focused and everything is lost in all of this big pictureness, and wanting to get away from the familiarity of what it is that we're feeling and what's happening within us, to me, can cause us to keep experiencing the same things over and over and over again, and never truly learning the lesson and never truly evolving to the next level. So the challenge for me when it comes to this full moon is perceiving that something has come to an end, but if we've never addressed it, if we haven't addressed it, then it hasn't come to an end. this is bringing me to what I was mentioning in one of the daily videos, where I personally believe that it could be a little bit toxic when someone says good vibes only. And the reason why I say it could be toxic, and I feel like that would probably be so fitting when it comes to the Sag moon energy, good vibes only. But I was speaking about Mercury and Taurus energy, and say Taurus and Pisces energy with the good vibes only. And the danger when it comes to good vibes only is that we don't want to face or deal with anything that's painful. So instead we focus only on things that feel good, or things that feel good gives us this false sense of feeling good, but we would have to escape our reality to be in the feel good feelings. Because if we were to be present in our reality, we'll realize that things are a mess, but we don't want to speak about it or address it or deal with it. So good vibes only, and we focus on things that, you know, take us away from that reality. But stuff is only building up over there, you know, every day that goes by that we act like what's happening over there isn't happening. So when it comes to the challenges with this full moon, I feel like it's just that something comes to an end, but it doesn't come to a complete ending. I think of, like, say someone going through a breakup, and, you know, it appears that the relationship has come to an end around the full moon energy. Suddenly and unexpectedly, something happened and the relationship comes to an end. But because there's no true owning and acknowledging and feeling what one's feeling, it's easy to circle the block, and it's like you guys are back together again 2-3 weeks later, and it's like nothing was addressed, and the issues keep coming back up, only to break up again on the next full moon, only to keep doing it over and over again, because the emotions aren't being addressed. Like, what's happening deep within you, why you would even entertain this kind of situation needs to be addressed. The fourth thing that I want to share with you when it comes to this full moon and Sag is what's unexpected. So what's unexpected for some people is that your student loans might be forgiven. You might be one of those lucky people who won the lottery. Like, I'm thinking of, like, the chocolate factory guy, where it's like you win the candy bar, Charlie and the chocolate factory, and winning the golden candy bar. So unexpectedly, some of you might end up being one of the lucky winners, where it's like your student loan is dismissed. You are no longer in debt when it comes to that, because Sagittarius deals with higher education. Us being in an 8th year could even be legal matters around higher education, where it came out that certain schools, you know, weren't accredited, or they weren't honest, or whatever. And it's like this full moon is rolling in all of, you know, brings me to the fifth thing, the blessings. So the blessings when it comes to this energy is, yeah, for some people, finally you are relieved of this thing pertaining to your education. Also, two blessings that might come in for certain people, something around traveling and maybe visa. Maybe you're looking to travel to a certain country and you needed to apply to get in, and that's coming through. So something comes through where maybe you get your visa, maybe you get your passport, something comes through, something happens that puts an end to something that was limiting you pertaining to traveling. Something is put an end to as far as what was restricting you, having to do with higher education. So for some people, you know, something shifts when it comes to your education and how you're able to afford it. And from this thing shifting, it's like you're in a better position to go to school for something else if you want. But for me, living in the era of information, I would be selective on what I choose if I couldn't afford it. Meaning, like, say if you want to be a nurse or a doctor or whatever, you have to go to school, you need those credentials. But there are certain things that some of us want to pursue, and it's like if you already can't afford it, like, you might could learn from YouTube University for free, or you might fear off getting a certificate program in something to kind of wet your feet and introduce you to the market or the industry. And then you continue learning on your own with all the free information out there. So, you know, that's something to consider. I guess I wouldn't be me if I don't speak my truth. Saying that, like, for me, I would be careful of, say if you're one of the lucky winners and your student loan is erased, and instead you take the time to really reflect on how you could take your life to the next level now that you've gotten that big thing out the way, opposed to that is a race and then you went and got some unnecessary purchase that is just as big as it. So now you're back in debt again. And for a few days it was exciting that you got this new thing, but now it's not that exciting anymore because you're over it. So I just would make my next move be my best move if I can, especially with us being in an 8th year. Because with us being in an 8th year, a lot of things are wrapping up, where I personally believe it's when we get into 2025 and 2026, we'll see the truth of what's happening financially within our world. Where right now things are pumped up in a way where things look like what they, things look like things other than they should. Where numerologically speaking, I could see next year, 2025 and 2026, it's like somebody popping the balloon with a pin, and we see the real truth about what's happening. And if we're patient, and I was saying this within the daily videos as I was speaking about Taurus and Scorpio energy, because there was an opposition, where Taurus energy is, us experiencing all the physical and tangible things in life. It's our tangible assets, and Scorpio energy is our non-tangible assets. And I was thinking how we're conditioned to be in our Taurus energy, where we just work, pay bills, and try to live the American dream. Where with the Scorpio energy, when I balance the two, I think of Taurus energy where you work, yes, and you accumulate the resources, but you put instant gratification on hold, which Taurus energy wants the pleasure and the comfort and the luxury, but you put it on hold and you send some of that money over towards the Scorpio side, where you're planting it, you're investing it in places where it could turn around one day and work for you and buy your time back. But in order to do that, you would have to delay instant gratification. And I feel like with us being in an 8th year, an 8th year brings in opportunities for more money. So whether you're gaining more money because a loan or a debt is forgiven, or some kind of a benefit or something comes in, but the 8th year brings in opportunities for more money. The decisions you make will determine whether it felt like more money came in or you actually end up spending more, which I can see a situation where, someone has something forgiven. So boom, it's like getting more money because that debt has been taken away. But then instead they go and they get something 3 times bigger. So it's like, we're like, yeah, 2024 was an 8th year. A lot of money should come in. And they're like, I spent more money than ever. But before doing that, an opportunity did come in where more money came in, but it all depends on how you played it. How'd you work that opportunity? So yeah, when it comes to this full moon in Sag, something definitely shifts when it comes to higher education, how we're educating ourselves. Something also ends when it comes to travel. Maybe some travel, some things about travel restrictions or border things will come up. But for me, when it comes to the blessings around this energy, the blessings for me comes down to the freedom of diversity, the freedom of curiosity, and the freedom to choose. And regardless of how things may feel to us, like, we have a choice in everything. Like, even the job that you hate going, like, you have a choice. You could quit, even though I understand if you quit, who's going to pay your bills, or how are you going to pay your bills, which shows, the positive aspects of how good it is to have that job, even though you hate it for now. But what I think is what has been beneficial for me is realizing that I don't want to be in a position that I am in, and think of ways how to make things better and start working on making things better. Things hit different when you're somewhere where you don't want to be, but you're working towards something else, something better. Being where you don't want to be doesn't feel as bad as it would if you had no other plans, no other way out. So with this full moon energy, It brings some things to an end. And with the things coming to an end, you know, it creates an opportunity for you to create a new vision for yourself. It was such a pleasure sharing this message with you. Check out part 2 on Patreon. Hey guys, I want to share with you 7 benefits of getting a numerology natal chart awareness coaching session. The first one is understanding your internal programming. The second one is becoming more clear about your purpose and passion. The third is setting goals for success. The fourth is awareness of strength and areas of improvement. And the fourth one was foundational for me because whenever you're aware of your weaknesses, no one can use them against you. And when you're aware of your strengths, that makes you unstoppable. And that is why I say self-awareness is a superpower. The fifth benefit is removing obstacles. We first have to become aware of a thing in order to remove it in the first place. The sixth benefit is understanding relationship dynamics. We don't have to change the people in our lives. We have to become aware of ourselves and start from there, and everything changes. And the seventh benefit is upcoming transits, if that's something that you would like to look into because you're planning for something or you just want to be aware. So if you're interested in booking a numerology natal chart awareness coaching session or learning more about it, the link to book or the link to send me an email for questions are both within the description box below. If you'd like to check out my Patreon where I share exclusive content, the link to check out what's happening on Patreon is in the description box below. Please let me know you're here with me by dropping me a orange heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you and look forward to seeing you. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.